Huge news in the world of Formula 1 and NASCAR. It has been confirmed Vettel will be replacing Perez in the newly rebranded Aston Martin Racing, and Bubba Wallace is done with JettMDK Motorsports. And welcome back to the episode of Inside the Lines. It is September 10th, 2020, and thank you so much for tuning in for today's episode. We have two huge stories to talk about here today, so let's not waste any time and jump right into it. Now, 24 hours ago, Sergio Perez announced that he would not be returning to Racing Point at the end of the 2020 season. This all but confirmed reports of four-time Formula 1 world champion Sebastian Vettel replacing him in the team which would be rebranded as Aston Martin Racing, and today they have confirmed that Vettel and Racing Point next year Aston Martin Racing would partner up for 2021 and beyond. Now, first off, I want to read the statement from Sergio Perez. He put up a lengthy post across all of his social media platforms. He started off by saying, "Hi all, everything in life always has a beginning and an end. And after 7 years together, my time with the team will come to an end after this season. It hurts a bit as I bet on the team during very tough times. We managed to overcome obstacles and I'm very proud of saving the jobs of several of my teammates. I'll keep the memories of the great moments lived together, the friendships, and the satisfaction of always giving my all. I will always be grateful for the opportunity given to me by Vijay, who believed in me in 2014 and allowed me to continue my F1 career with Force India. To the current administration led by Lawrence Stroll, I wish nothing but the best in the future, especially with the upcoming Aston Martin project. I don't have a plan B. My intention is to continue racing here, but that would depend on finding a project that motivates me to continue giving my 100% in each lap. I want to thank each one of you who have been with me throughout these 10 years, to my family who has always been there to support me despite anything, to all the sponsors who believed in me and my project, to my staff, and mainly God, who blessed me with the opportunity to live this incredible adventure called F1. I hope I can give you some good news real soon, but for now, let's enjoy the next races. I carry you in my heart." And that was a statement from Sergio Perez. But now let's talk about the announcement between Sebastian Vettel and Aston Martin or Racing Point. First of all, number one, the timing, incredible. I mean, what better timing to do this than at Ferrari's 1000th race at Mugello, which is their home track. I mean, that's like saying you are getting married and you announce it at like your ex-husband's wedding or something like that. I mean, it's perfect timing. Now, ever since Ferrari sort of chucked Sebastian Vettel to the curb at the beginning of the 2020 season, a lot of people wanted Vettel to stay. At first, it seemed like maybe he could go back to Red Bull. Remember, they had a ton of success there from 2009 to 2013. Alexander Albon, depending on how he does, it looked like maybe Vettel could take over that spot. Then it looked like as a slight chance that he could go to Mercedes and team up with Lewis Hamilton to be an absolute powerhouse for the Silver Arrows. And then we started to see maybe more than likely we could see him end up at Racing Point. I mean, there was even a report saying that Vettel was in a car with one of the team principals, or at least one of the high executives of Racing Point. So it sort of fueled even rumors even more that he more than likely would sign on with the team in 2021. And then things sort of just went away. There was no talk about it. I heard from many people saying that more than likely we would hear an announcement from the 70th anniversary Grand Prix, and then Sergio Perez gets COVID-19. And don't think it would have been a good PR move by Racing Point to the day that their driver gets COVID-19. Oh, by the way, here, we're going to make an announcement. This is the driver that we're going to be replacing him with. It just wouldn't be a good PR move, so I think they purposely pushed it back a few weeks so that Perez would be able to be healthy again, return to the team, return to everything going back to normal. Now, the question is this a good move for Vettel and Racing Point? Well, it's a great move for Vettel. I mean, you have to understand, when he left Red Bull to go to Ferrari, many people had this idea that this could be a dream partnership between Ferrari and Vettel. Similar, people were even comparing somewhat to maybe Schumacher in the early 2000s and Ferrari. Well, that never came to fruition, and ever since Charles Leclerc came onto the team in 2018 or 2019, I believe, things really started to go downhill in terms of the relationship between Vettel and Ferrari. Ferrari has dropped the ball in recent years. 2017, 2018, they had legitimate shots at competing with Mercedes for the championship, and they fell flat on their face. And now when you look at 2020, how bad they have been compared to Racing Point, how good they have been. Yes, it's a controversial car, but regardless, it's a fast car. And now they're going to go into 2021, a lot of momentum on their side with a brand new contract, or a brand new project, you should say, with Aston Martin. And when you know Sebastian Vettel and how he is with the history of Formula 1 and the history of Aston Martin, I mean, for a guy like him, who wouldn't jump on an opportunity like that? And this is also a good move for Racing Point or Aston Martin, I feel like, because and this is also a very bold move by Racing Point, because they had Sergio Perez, a team that has been with them since 2014. They've scored 5 podiums, which was then Force India, then became Racing Point. So Perez has been with the team for a pretty long time. And so they just signed a 3-year contract deal with Perez. To cut that short after 1 year is a bold move by the team. And I think when you look at Vettel and what he could bring to the table, first of all, number one, he brings experience. Yes, Lance Stroll, who is a still young driver. Vettel has a lot of experience and is nowhere near retirement. I think he's younger than Hamilton, mid-30s, so he's still got a lot of years left in F1. He has experience. He knows how to win a championship. He has people that he knows and is good friends with that are on this team. So, and you also have to look at it in terms of a business perspective. You have a 4-time F1 world champion in Sebastian Vettel joining your team. And on top of that, you have a new project coming along with Aston Martin. It is for sure going to create a lot of buzz. It's going to create a lot of revenue, a lot of attention, more than likely going to attract more sponsors into the mix. So, to me, this all just looks like a win-win deal, at least for Aston Martin and for Sebastian Vettel. For Perez, on the other hand, I don't know what he's going to do after 2020. I mean, you could look at maybe Red Bull, Albon, who knows? But that's really the only thing I can think of at the moment. But really would like to see Perez get a ride in F1. I've always enjoyed Perez in F1. I think he's been one of the most consistent drivers in the mid-pack. And I think it would be pretty sad for him to end his career like this. But that's overall my thoughts on this situation. Very happy for Vettel to see him back in F1 and see him potentially be a competitive ride, because, again, look how good Racing Point has been this year. And when you see maybe with 2021 and 2022 with the new rules, regulations, and a new spending cap coming into play, there's an opportunity that we could see Aston Martin compete for wins and even maybe a possibility for championships. That's all thinking way too far in the future, but still, there's a possibility that could happen. And now onto our final story. This is coming from Jordan Bianchi from The Athletic, who literally posted this just a few minutes ago. It's been reported that Bubba Wallace has informed the race team that he will not return to JettMDK Motorsports at the conclusion of the 2020 season. Now, this is huge news, because with all the sponsors that were going to JettMDK Motorsports, with even rumors of invested celebrity owners going into the race team, I thought for sure Bubba would stay at JettMDK Motorsports. With the also rumors going on that they might go to Toyota and have some form of alliance with JGR, with Denny Hamlin, and with all the stuff that's going on, I thought, to me personally, all right, he's going to sign on for another deal, maybe 2 or 3 year deal, he's going to stay with the team. So to see him leaving JettMDK Motorsports is a big deal. So now the question is where does he go? Well, many sources are saying the 42 car, Chip Ganassi Racing, maybe even the 48 car at Hendrick Motorsports. We don't know at the moment where he could go, but those are really the only 2 spots I could see him possibly landing. Now, you also have to consider who's going to the 43. Well, I got my eye on Eric Jones. Eric Jones, remember, he does not have a ride in the Cup Series so far. Christopher Bell will replace him at Joe Gibbs Racing in 2021. So now Jones is out of a ride. I could see him going to the 43. The 42 car is up for grabs. Matt Kenseth has said he looks like he will not be returning to the 42 car. Bubba Wallace already has an alliance with some sponsors like McDonald's. They are over at Chip Ganassi Racing. McDonald's also sponsors Bubba Wallace. There's already a prior relationship between some of that sponsorship. It just makes sense to me. Bubba could be going to the 42 car, but he could also be going to the 48. There is a lot of stuff right now in the works here. As of this moment, as to where Bubba could go, we don't have any information. Literally, the news just broke out just a few minutes ago. I was done recording originally the Vettel episode. I was ready to edit that, and then this news broke, so I had to get back rolling again. So yeah, Bubba Wallace not returning to JettMDK Motorsports is huge news, and now we just have to wait and see. Where will Bubba Wallace go, and who will be his replacement? There's a lot of stuff going around in the world of motorsports, not only just NASCAR and motorsports as a whole. But right now, that's it for this episode of Inside the Lines. Guys, tell me in the comment section down below 2 things. Number 1, what are your thoughts on Vettel's move to Aston Martin Racing? Do you think this is a good move or not? And where do you think Sergio Perez will go in 2021? And also, Where do you think? What do you think Bubba Wallace is gonna go? Do you think he's gonna go to the 42? Do you think he's gonna go to the 48? And do you think Eric Jones will be his replacement at Bubba Wallace or at Richard Petty Motorsports in the 43? Or could it be a completely different driver? Leave our suggestions down below. But until next time, my name is JettMDK, and I'll see you guys next time.